Man.
Oh. Yeah, man. You know how to put that in.
Pop up.
Yeah, man. It's the classic pop up, man. It was like one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah. And speaking of episodes, what? This is the 10th episode. That's right. Cheers, brother. Put it up.
Cheers.
Clink. Oh, shit. This is the 10th episode of Yin-Yang Reviews. That's right. The co-created series with me and my brother from another mother, the Billy Handsome Hansen. That's right. Film director of Bone Cold and many others. We co-created this way back in the day. It feels like years ago.
It really does.
Yeah. Me and Billy have actually done a plethora of videos. We've done so many videos, but with this exclusive series, this is the 10th episode. And yeah, man, how did we get here?
I don't know. Time passed and then suddenly we were here. But it's funny because even in that clip, my poster wall wasn't done yet. There were like 2 posters up and it's making its way. It's making its way.
Let's see the update now.
Let's see. We got Night of the Hunter, Columbo, The Limey, Wages of Fear, The Handmaiden, In the Mood for Love. And over here is which one? It's reverse. Sorry, that is the bride wore black. Wow, man, that one sip of whiskey that I just had is already hitting me.
You're already done. You're done.
The Bride Wore Black.
Okay, nice. Yeah, the back wall's looking good, brother. Yeah,
it's getting there, man. We got more to do. There's a Godzilla right here. I put that there for you.
Thank you. Represent some Zill. Got to get Zilla in there.
Of course, that's gonna go up. But I had to make sure it was in frame today.
Yes. I've converted him to the kaiju community. There you go. But yeah, I think it was the first time I interviewed you for Bone Cold, and I think at some point we interviewed Wages of Fear afterwards, the original. Yeah. We reviewed Wages of Fear. And I think this is kicking in now. This is kicking in, and I think that some point we just kind of were goofing around. We were like, hey, just for fun, let's review 2 films that are completely different genres from each other. Yeah, and just for fun. And I think the first one we did was it original Wages of Fear and like Gods of Egypt.
It was Gods of Egypt and Diabolique.
There it is. Diabolique. Yeah. And that was it. We were like, this is fun. This gives us an excuse to talk about 2 totally different movies. But it's fun. Yeah, man. And now we're here at 10 episodes. But what is going on, everybody out there watching? Thanks again for chiming in for some fun movie discussions. And we have 2 fun movies. Fun for us, maybe not for other people, but we're gonna get into it, and it'll be a little spoilery. So I mean, these movies been out for a while, but yeah, man, it's great to have you back on the channel. I know you've been a busy man, podcasting and writing books. Writing
so much stuff going on.
Hey, hold on here. What?
Oh,
boom, son. Yeah. This man is a busy man. This filmmaker.
It's been a very, very busy year, and we were just talking about this before we jumped on, but like. I think both of us needed to jump on and just chit chat about some movies and have a good time because
it's all about.
Been an incredibly busy year. I've got the book that came out in November, so we're still kind of pushing that one. I've got another book that I'm actually editing with an author named Paul Inman. We're pushing this other book. It's lots of book stuff, which is great. Lots of movie projects that are in the works, but like I'm ready to just kick back and just chat about some movies for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what the channel's all about, baby.
Yeah,
movies. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into this. All the way from Spain, and just for fun. Usually, I think this is the first time we picked 2 movies that had the same title.
Yeah.
We usually don't do that.
We've had themes. We've had like American theme and like red themed, and
yeah.
But yeah, this is the first one with the same titles.
Yeah, same titles, just for fun. So up first, all the way from Spain, 2021's The Passenger.
Le presento a Mariela, de México, también bajo al pueblo, a la romería.
Mucho gusto, encantada. ¿Va a coger a Nacional?
¿Qué pasa? ¿No os gusta el paisaje? ¿Qué pasa?
¡Cuidado!
Hostia, dime por favor que no le he matado.
1, 2, 3.
madre que me parió. Ahora, arriba.
Deberías de dejar de fumar y apuntarte al gimnasio.
No, si apuntado estoy. Lo que me falta es ir.
Yo, let's go. I forgot to mention horror sci-fi comedy movie from Spain.
Yeah.
The Passenger. But really quickly, big shout out to the Gear Brothers. You know, speaking about extremely busy filmmakers and script writers and all that stuff. They weren't able to make it, so shout out to Jeff and Darren. But they'll be on the next one for sure. Hopefully we get there. Cool. Everyone's got busy schedules, man.
Yeah, man.
We were lucky to get together today, but hopefully we get to Gear Brothers because those guys are amazing and hilarious. And the last time they were on here,
we had a good time.
Fucking hysterical. We reviewed
Point Blank, and Antrim. Yeah,
it was hilarious. So
we all had so much to say. Yeah,
I'll link that at the end of this video, so you guys can go to it because it's hilarious. So
that was a really good
shout out to the Gear Brothers, the Retaliators. That's right, Retaliators, baby. Check it out. All right, so The Passenger. Go ahead and Billy, give us the plot synopsis and who is directed by, and I'm letting you do all the extremely hard to say names.
Yeah, you're gonna make me do these. Okay, so all right, The Passenger from 2021. The occupants of a van transporting a wounded excursionist have to avoid sitting next to her during the trip.
Yeah.
I did not read that before we start. I queued it up and I didn't read it through.
That's the fun.
That is confusing. The occupants of a van transporting a wounded excursionist have to avoid sitting next to her during the trip.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's the fun of reading IMDb's plot synopsis. It could be just like, it could be really detailed, or stuff happens, and then the thingy drove the thingy to the thingy.
Yeah, and then you throw the word excursionist in there. Yeah, what a wild movie. That's what I'll start with. What a wild movie. Two directors. Right? That's right. It is Raul Cerezo and Fernando Gonzalez Gomez.
Yes. Yeah, this has been on my radar for a while. Actually, this movie was what kind of gave me the idea to do a movie with the same title discussion today, because there was a lot of buzz for the next movie we're going to be talking about when it came out. And even Red Letter Media was glazing all over the second movie, which we'll get to. And I was just like, it'll be fun. Let's go ahead and do it. Two movies with the same name, two different genres. All right, certified badass channel member Heather in the house, flexing it and throwing it up. Good to see you, Heather. We had a blast yesterday. Channel members only live stream, so all that exclusive goodies. Hit the join button above. That's right, or join us over there on Patreon. You get to hang out with the old samurai after hours. That's right, baby. I get completely naked. All that good stuff.
Samurai after dark.
I'm just kidding. We have fun though. But yeah, Theodore, what's going down? Good to see you. Yeah, baby. Yeah. So, dude, were you like me? And were you laughing hysterically at how dumb these people were in the beginning of the movie?
I was. At no point in this entire movie was I aware of what was happening. And I say that because in the beginning, I had to watch the beginning twice, because first of all, I had to make sure that the language settings were correct. And I was like, oh, is this some weird dub? I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, no, they're speaking English. Okay. I realized on the second time I watched the opening through, they're just not very good at speaking English. That's okay. That's fine. But I did have to adjust to that. But yeah, I was cracking up pretty good. It was very unexpected and very much like, what's going on exactly? Because it's such a strange opening. Like it feels a little bit like American Werewolf in London with two hikers and they're kind of walking down the road, and in the fog, a person appears
Yeah.
And I think they say, hey, there's a person, and one person says, well, maybe they need help, and the other person says, no, we should be careful. And then when the person starts charging out at them, someone shouts, wow, this is really weird.
It was the guy. I think it was the guy.
Yeah.
And the guy was just like, let me walk up and see if this person needs help. I'm like, you just saw a shadowy figure kind of like teleport quickly over there. It's time to go.
Yeah, no. You just turn and run the other way. Yeah.
Yeah. I for at first I thought this was like a paranormal ghost type movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to turn into what it turned into. But then once the killing started, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's not a ghost. Because we had like a kind of reminded me of Species.
That's what I was just going to say. There's real Species thing going on.
The tongue through the head attacks, kind of thing. Or was it the throat? Something like that. It's been a while since I saw Species, but
well,
yeah,
as,
man.
As like silly as
rolling.
the intro was, as silly as the opening was, that gore effect right away, that first kill in the very beginning, I was like, oh, cool. Okay. All right. That's solid. And it's really simple. Like the lady creature walks up to him and grabs him, and then you see through the back of his head.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, solid. That's solid. But yeah, it was very, very strange opening.
It was pretty funny because it was like, wow. And more stupidity continues throughout the movie, which we'll get to. But now we're introduced to our travelers, and our main male protagonist here. He's kind of like bootleg Uber in a way, and what's funny is he can be annoying because he just won't shut up. He just keeps talking. But what's funny is he's surprised that they're annoyed because he's like, hey, I put it in my bio that I talk a lot. He's like, hey, I put in my bio that I smoke a lot. All right, you guys,
you were made aware of all of this.
Yes, but they don't.
I love too that it cuts right from that crazy opening that is silly and bloody and gory to him very suggestively caressing his van. Did you get that vibe?
Like,
because he's like the main guy. Yeah, the main guy. He's what is his name? Blasco. So it like cuts to like over the credits. It's close-ups of the van that they're all going to be riding in, and his hands going very sensually over the rear.
He said he's in love.
He is.
He's in love with. There's only one lady for him, and that's his van.
Someday they're going to get married.
What did he call the name of the van again?
Nessa.
Nessa. There you go. Yeah. Only Nessa. She's the only woman for me.
The only one that understands him, and he's correct.
It's funny you pointed that out. Yeah.
But that's why I felt like such whiplash in the movie. Like we went from this crazy opening to him caressing his car, clearly in love with his car in a few different ways. And I was like, what am I in for right now?
Yeah. But yeah, they don't like him. No one likes him. The mother and daughter, they're having issues. And you find out a little bit later why. She feels like we can talk about it now. She feels like she's being abandoned, because first her father left, and now her mother's basically dropping her off with her dad because she's leaving the country because she has this big job opportunity. So she's not happy. She's not really feeling it. But then over time, they start to kind of bond a little bit. It starts off rocky, her and Blasco. It starts off a little rocky. She's trying to call him out and all his bullshit. She's like, you used to be a bull rider, or a bullfighter. Bullfighters. Like, you used to be a bullfighter. I call bullshit, and they argue over their tastes in music. And he's stuck in his ways. He's old school and stuff like that. So, but then over time, compared to her relationship with her mom, she started to get along with him. And, they were, kind of busting each other up, making each other laugh and stuff like that. But then, Blasco again, he's a very likable asshole. I guess that's the best way to describe him.
Yeah.
Because he's fun and he's likable, but then he'll say some stupid shit. And I'm like, dude, stop talking. Stop talking to these women. They hate you. They think you're sexist, bro. Just stop.
Yeah. There's a whole long monologue about it too. Whole long monologue about how sexist he is and how it's just awful. And to be fair to them, when he first sees the girl, Marta, I believe. Yeah, Marta.
Yes,
when he first sees Marta, who is 15 at most, I feel like. It is a bit of a creepy vibe, and he's a little bit like interested in her. The mom sees it, gets right in between them, and kind of shuts it down. And I was relieved to see their relationship didn't blossom into that. Like it didn't go to the creepy place. It just sort of started there, and then
Right.
he became kind of a savior in a way for her.
Right.
But yeah, so
bootleg father figure. Kinda.
Exactly. Yeah. When they start going off on him, I'm like, yeah, you should hear this.
Did he mention? I know it was really brief. I know he mentioned. I think he mentioned that his wife left him. But
I believe so.
But did he mention about them having a kid and her taking the daughter away from him, or he lost his daughter in a way? Did he mention that? Because I only remember the wife. I don't remember him mentioning they had kids. I
don't remember actually. I don't think so. It doesn't ring a bell.
Him being her protector, reluctant protector at first, because as soon as the shit hits the fan later, which we're going to get to, he just straight leaves. He just runs out.
Like, nope, I'm not helping. Bye.
But then later he becomes our protector. But then I was just kind of like, that's sweet, that's noble. But I'm like, he kind of kissed her 3 times. I counted, and I was like, what? Yeah, like one's fine. Not in the lips, but like you kiss her hand, you kiss her forehead. You know what I mean? Like it was nothing, ridiculously inappropriate. But I'm like, dude, you kissed 3 times. You kissed her already. Like, are we getting in Lolita territory? What's going on here?
One too many. One too many. One. If I had a studio note to give, yeah. And if it hadn't started with us, like, the pan up with her, as soon as he saw her, the music came in and the slow motion like scan. I was like, maybe we don't start there. I thought when it started, I was like,
for the younger audience watching.
I guess so. It was, I thought when she was getting in the car, she had like big sunglasses on. So I'm like, okay, she's like 20. But then she takes the glasses off and I'm like, oh no, that's like a 13, 15-year-old. Like that's not cool.
Yeah, being a father figure, she wanted to hug him. He embraced her, and he kissed her forehead. That's where it should have stopped. But then, he kissed her 2 more times later. But anyway, Theodore says, "Fat Samurai Guy still on this side of the grass. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. All right, we're gonna keep moving on.
We'll have to think about that one for a little bit.
Think about that. All right. So again, they're getting along now. They're having fun and
talking about feminism,
right? Especially with her. You want to talk about her character and why she's traveling.
Yeah, she's I believe to get an operation, right? In the city.
Yeah, because she's wearing a wig.
She wearing a wig, and she slips at one point. You see that she's bald underneath, and so they have a little moment of bonding in the back seat. Where they've suddenly got respect for each other,
right?
And so you get a little glimpse into what her deal is and why she is this way, and it makes a lot of sense. And she also talks about how she's a nurse and she's a caregiver, and she was surprised to get the ailment that she was treating in a lot of other people.
Right. Yes. But yeah, they're traveling. Everything seems to be going well, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere. Out of absolutely nowhere, body just walks across the street, and of course Blasco hits the body, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Blasco just wants to just fucking go. He just like, I don't want to. Nope. He's like, "Hey, she came out of nowhere. It was an accident. It was an accident." But they convinced them to stop, turn around, and they went to go help the body. They bring the body, aka the passenger, into the van, and while this is going on, talk about what he finds. And then what happens to Martha?
So in a very creep show way, he goes onto the side of the road and finds, I thought it was a crashed spaceship at first, but it turned out to be just some sort of meteorite or meteor that crashed into the earth. And there's this weird pulsing slime or ooze or brain-like thing. And the effects of it were
kind of phallic looking.
A little phallic looking, like it was a little alarming, but it was pretty cool in the way that they shot it and the way that they did it. It's clearly practical and like someone's hand underneath a little puppet thing going like this. But you just know that it's not going to go well if they go close to it.
Right.
And sure enough, somebody does.
You got to
go close
touch
to it.
everything alien.
You have
We
to.
gotta
You
touch
have
it.
to put a finger on it. Yeah. So while they're getting the body loaded in the car to take her to the hospital, Marta decides she's going to reach out and touch it, and of course, what looks like a little worm comes out.
Yeah,
and
just a little part of it
little
comes
teeny
out,
tiny
just a
thing.
little, and then
And
goes up her nail.
goes like under her fingernail, which
Yeah.
is already really gross.
I know.
But you just know that they're going to do some gnarly stuff with that later on, and they do.
Yeah. And when the van drives away, you see more of them.
Yeah, the
See more
whole
of them.
street, the whole side of the road is like dotted with these little
On the trees
blobs
too.
of something.
They're on the trees.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, up in the
Yeah.
trees too.
Yeah.
So something is there taking over.
And she's kind of bootleg being taken over once in a while. Like she'll zone out, and then she'll come back and not know what the hell happened. Yeah.
It was weird. That's one of the reasons I was confused most of the movie too. I was like, okay, I see what we're doing. She's going to be infected by something, and she's going to like attack the rest of the people. But that is not how it happened.
No.
And yeah,
no.
she would sort of zone out all of a sudden, staring at her finger, which was like getting worse and worse, like tearing apart slowly.
Yeah.
And her eyes would blank out, and she'd kind of go into this trance. And nothing really happened other than that. But
no,
that
I'm
happened
thinking,
a few times.
yeah. I'm thinking it wasn't enough of that, of the alien symbiote in her to completely, because you notice when they start to take over other people, it kind of takes a while, not too long, but once the whole tongue goes down in there and implants what it needs to implant, it kind of takes a while. So she just has a sliver right now, but the passenger, gets up and fucks up the nurse, and it was kind of funny how it happened because no one noticed any of this. Because that's
not a huge van.
No, there's like this big plexiglass he has for protection behind him and her. So, and I think the mother got knocked out first, and then she
attacked the nurse.
She attacked the nurse, and then the nurse was just done. And then unfortunately, Blasco runs out, and they're like, fuck, because now the mom's getting attacked now. And then he used to play in a band, and then he just busts out his guitar, starts beating the alien over the head, which was kind of funny. But they escape temporarily. The mother kind of gets that sliver out, which was causing her daughter a lot of pain, and they're getting hunted by possessed nurse now, I think, at this point.
And she's crawling around like the creatures from The Descent.
Yeah, a really good practical makeup effects in this movie, man. Like pretty good
for how cheesy the opening was and how silly it was. Every time there was a good effect, I was surprised. I was like, oh wow, this is a really good practical effect. They did a good job with this. It was unexpected. But the practical effects and them cutting through the finger, that was all like a practical. They were cutting the finger and like pulling the worm out. It was nasty.
Yeah, it was. That's how we like it. That's how we like our horror movies, to be grody. Brian Sanchez, what's going on, brother? He's saying, hey, saying what's up? Good to see you, brother. But yeah, back to the grodiness. So they temporarily split up. And I don't know. I think the mom and her, you think if the mom stayed with the daughter, you think they still would have kind of gotten away, or the mom had to sacrifice herself?
I don't know, because I don't really know. Like in that moment, it was really strange why they ran away from the van at all. And I know that so they came out, they realized the nurse was possessed and was going to attack them, and they all split up. I know that Blasco runs off, but he's like, I'm not having anything to do with it.
It was his idea.
Mom and daughter
like, we got to do it. We got to split up. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He said we got to split up. And then when the mom and daughter ran off, I wasn't quite sure where everyone was or how far they were or what they were exactly doing. Like, were they running to somewhere or just trying to get away or what? So when then the mom stops and says, we have to split up, I was like, what? Why?
Yeah, it was kind of like, why?
I don't know. I feel like, it's not going to get you anything. If it's going to get one of you, it's going to get one of you. But like, you don't have to split up and get hit one by one. I was just confused by what she was doing. I realized that, like, story-wise, thematically, she was going to sacrifice herself so her daughter could get away.
Yeah.
But then I was get away to something or get away back to the van, or like I just wasn't sure what was going on there. So
Yeah.
I think they probably could have both made it to somewhere.
Yeah. But unfortunately the mom gets speared by Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And then she gets possessed. What's funny, while all this craziness is happening, Blasco's up a tree. He's like watching,
Yeah.
holding onto the branch. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But
And just like face pressed against the tree, just holding it like this. Yeah.
yeah. But the mom gets possessed, and we have some really fun little action little set pieces of the mom basically catching up to the van. You know, he had a couple of moments where Blasco and the girl reunite and they drive off, and a couple of moments where you think they're safe, but no, the mom catches up with them. But we have some fun moments. We definitely have some fun creature feature moments for sure.
Yeah, I think this is where they had the most fun. Is like once the mom was after them. You know, do we know what happened to the nurse, or is it just passed from one person?
I think it's just passed. Yeah. Because
the nurse is dead off somewhere.
The hitchhiker passed it to the nurse, and then the
it.
nurse passed it to the mom. Yeah,
I was a little confused about that, but you know, I got the gist of what was going on. But yeah, I think they had the most fun when it was the mom chasing Blasco and Marta, because they made a lot of use of that barrier between the front and the back of the van, with her like banging on it, vomiting on it. Oh, there was a great effect too earlier on, when I think it was the nurse's face that got ripped off, or maybe the passenger's face that got ripped off, and like they threw it on the front wall. That was nasty. And that was something like really original to this movie that I don't think I've seen really before, is straight up just grabbing someone's face and just ripping it off and then splatting it on a glass on a glass barrier. They had a lot of fun with that one.
That was good stuff.
But yeah, they made a lot of use of that thing. And then there were new surprises every little bit of those action scenes. So like her on the
and you had a
roof,
little bit of
a
little bit of suspense too when the mom was back here choking out him. I think the daughter went in and crawled under her to get a weapon. I think she crawled under her to get something. I'm trying to remember.
To get water. It was
there
to get water, because he was like, oh, I'm feeling weak all of a sudden. I need water. And she was like, there's water in the back. And then the mom ends up in the back. Yeah. I was laughing a little bit during that scene, though. I thought that was pretty silly, because she's just like that, like you see in that picture. And the daughter just like crawls underneath her. I'm like, well, no, you would know she was there. There was no way she kept that secret.
Hey, the mom was like all in, you know, getting Blasco, man.
Yeah, it was. I will say though, it was really nasty, because she's like drooling this like slime, and it's dripping on where she's got to go. So she's like crawling through this slime on her face and like getting the water, and it was pretty silly. But I mean, some solid suspense, and like again, those practical effects were surprisingly good and effective.
Right. I think one of my favorite moments is what happened at the gas station when they eventually run out of gas.
Oh, yes.
Right. And the guy's not open. They find the gas station, and the tenant's not there. He's like on break or something. And so Blasco's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna just go into town and find this random car. I get the gas out of the car. Yeah. And then the tenant finally comes out, and then mama shows up. Yeah. And that was great, because it's like a faraway shot. She walks up to him, and then you don't see them anymore. And then after that, his head just goes flying. Yeah.
His body just like falls back, and you see his head just roll away.
That was great.
Like, all right. Good job, guys. Good job.
Yeah. Little things like that, you know.
I love, a movie that's going to have these special effects. You know, it's not about the story. It's not even about the suspense, really. It's about like how much fun they're having with practical effects and creature effects. And like, that shit is so much fun. And they did a good job. That was one of the better moments too. Like, I was laughing in a really good way. I was laughing at that point.
Yeah. And don't forget, while Blasco's getting gas in the village kind of seems dead. Like there's not people around. And there's a window open, but he doesn't really fully look in. But we get a chance to see what's inside, and you just see another decapitated head of the homeowner,
behind the bar.
Homeowner. So that already, I was like, they've already taken over.
Yeah,
they either already taken over or they're on their way. Yeah, they're on their way. The aliens are on their way.
Yeah, it's not good news.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Now, they break free. They think they're free. They go to this bar. He's like, "Hey, it's time to. After all that bullshit, it's time to get some drinks." She goes to. You got an alien back there? Or what's going on?
Little alien dog. Yes.
And whatchamacallit, she goes, the girl Martha goes to use the restroom. There's all this slime comes down above her head.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even though you had fun with the film, what did you think of the ending? Were you expecting this kind of ending, or do you think they could have did it a little bit different?
Yeah, I was kind of expecting this kind of ending, like, because they're building up to it the whole time, and I kind of felt like that's where it was headed. So it happened. I was like, all right, yeah, that tracks. So yeah, I thought it worked. I thought it made sense for what they were doing.
I was expecting it to. Like, I was like, it has to end this way. But I was kind of hoping it would be like a far away zoning away shot before we go to credits of them surrounded. And then he's like, fuck it, grab some weapons, let's go. And then Martha picks up something, and you have them both like back to back or whatever, and then it zooms back. But I was just like, oh, Martha got it anyway. She ended up getting it anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, all right. Everyone's fucked. And he kind of breaks the fourth wall a little bit and says cheers to the audience watching. And aliens win this one.
Yeah, they weren't getting out of that one.
We kind of
once you see multiple of those little goo sack things. It's a little you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen there.
I don't know why I wanted him to look at Martha and Martha to look at him, and all of a sudden he pulls a Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
Oh,
oh, we forgot to talk about the big climactic moment.
Oh,
in the final fight. Yeah. I again busted up laughing because it was so funny. But they talk all this time about him being a bullfighter, and that's how he lost his eye, which turned out to be bullshit. And he eventually comes clean. He's like, I didn't lose it bullfighting. I forget, it was an accident or something. And then there's the final showdown with the mom.
Yeah.
He pulls out I don't even know what you call it, the flag, the whatever.
Yeah.
But it's yellow. And he like bullfights the mom.
It's so ridiculous.
And I was like, what?
What is really?
But it was so funny, and it's so fun. That you got to give it credit because it's like, man, they're having him bullfight an alien mother. That's like,
hey, well, they set it up and they paid it off,
Not
but
to
Martha
mention
saved the day. Martha saved the day.
Yeah, she did with the sword.
Yeah.
And
you know what bugged me though?
What's that?
Right after I hate it when horror movies do this. She has the weapon, she kills the alien, and then she just drops it after it's over, and then just leaves. Pick up.
Well, this is no use anymore. Yeah,
keep your weapons. I think that happened in Wolf Creek. You remember Wolf Creek? An Australian horror movie?
I feel like I watched Wolf Creek when it first came out, and I do not remember it at all.
I think maybe
I've never seen it actually.
She had the gun. There was a scene, I might be mistaken, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But it was, towards the end, she has the gun on the villain. I think she tries to shoot him, but it's out of bullets, so she just knocks him out with the gun. And then after that, she just drops the gun and runs away. And I'm like, no, double tap, grab something else, and finish the job. But still,
take a minute, find bullets.
yes. I actually like Wolf Creek too. I was pretty good. I've been hearing rumors for years about a Wolf Creek 3, but I haven't seen anything concrete.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I ever saw Wolf Creek or Wolf Creek 2, but I know people generally like them.
Yeah. I like the second one more because you get more time with the lead villain guy. And that guy's great. He's the reason to watch because that guy's acting. He's like so good.
Nice.
He's really good. But yeah, overall, a fun watch, man. I really enjoyed the Passenger from Spain.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Real silly good time. Yeah. Some fun practical effects, some truly confounding moments. But even just to see him run over a body with his van 3 different times, like run over it, back up, run over it, back up, run over it again. Like stuff like that's going on for this movie. A few moments in there, I was like, the little head scratching moments where it was like she's outside the van and then she's suddenly inside the van because like I think they're insinuating that she crawled in through the window, so it's real like visually a little confusing sometimes.
Right.
But
yeah.
chalk it up to, hey, this is low budget and we're having a good time.
Yeah. So we definitely recommend the sci-fi horror comedy from Spain, The Passenger. Make sure you guys check it out. It's on Tubi, believe it or not. So you guys can check it out on Tubi unless you have.
Or I watched it on Shudder. Yeah, I watched it.
There you go. It's on. If you guys have Shudder, check it out on Shudder. But now we're flipping genres. Now we're going from sci-fi horror comedy to psychological thriller. Now the movie that Red Letter Media jizzed all over it. I mean, they had a big bucket of jizz. They just went nuts. I was like, fine, I'll watch it. You know what's funny though? When I got done watching it, I was just like, oh. I know out of the two which one Billy's gonna like the most.
Oh yeah,
we'll see. I may be wrong. I might be wrong because I know I was like, there's a lot of suspense drama in here. I was like, Billy might like this one. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it. 2023's The Passenger.
I don't normally get visits from former students.
I needed to tell you how sorry I am for, about what happened.
Sorry, let me just answer that. Hello? What? Wait, slow down. Oh my God, that's horrible. Is he?
Everything okay?
Someone just assaulted our vice principal in the parking lot.
No, Benson.
Oh my God!
No,
What are you doing?
This isn't what you want. You don't know me! Why are you doing this?
Because, Randy, I have been watching you. You are 20 years old, and you are already more pathetic than every person in this godforsaken town, and that bugs me. But there's something about you. There's something fixable. I mean, hell, when you were standing there, watching me, waiting for me to kill you. That was the only thing I believed. And if I'm gonna help you, then I can't have you getting in my way. Because it forces me to hurt you. I need you to work with me, not against me. Don't do this. I'm doing this for your own good. Square. We're square.
All right.
So pretty much the same movie.
Pretty much. We got alien mom shows up. I mean, yeah, we got a chase scene. Poor guy has a hell of a day. Woke up. Let's see if I can find him. It's funny because I just saw this actor in Jack Reacher season 3, but Johnny Birch Told, who plays Randolph Bradley, he had a hell of a day. He woke up thinking that was a regular, normal, boring day at work. No, it did not. I'm already here, Billy. I'll go ahead and read the plot synopsis there. All right. A man is forced to face his fears. He's forced to face his fears and confront his troubled past. He must find a way to survive when his coworker snaps and goes on a violent killing spree. Directed by Carter Smith, also starring Kyle Gallner. Yes. And the more I see of this actor, the more I'm like, this guy's good.
Yeah.
This guy's
Kyle Gallner is really good.
I could see Kyle in one of your future movies. Easy.
I've put him in pitch decks and stuff before. Yeah, he's great. Like,
Nice.
I know we talked about Strange Darling in one of the other videos that we did, and I wasn't really a fan of that movie, but he's awesome in it, you know, and he's awesome
Okay.
at Smile. He's every time I've seen him, he's great. So I was excited to watch this one, to see him in this too, because I knew right from the beginning of the movie, it's like he's going to be real unhinged, because I didn't know what the plot was really.
Right.
I didn't look up anything before it. I had seen the poster, I'd come across it a little bit, a couple of times, but I didn't know what the story was. But as soon as he showed up on screen, I was like, he's going to be unhinged in some way. And sure enough, that was correct.
Did you like The Passenger more than Strange Darling?
I did, yes.
Okay. I think that was
Yeah.
another movie the Red Letter Media glazed all over. I was curious. I
Yeah.
heard a lot of buzz of Strange Darling. I was like, man, everyone's saying how good this is, but they said that it was a little artsy fartsy, but it was good.
Yeah,
I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should I still watch it?
I mean, if you're interested, watch it. There's definitely stuff that works in it. For me, I was expecting a lot more from it, especially after everyone had talked about it so
all the
much.
hype.
And maybe it was really hyped up, but it just wasn't for me, you know, in a lot of different ways, it just wasn't for me. But like I said, his performance is great. The woman's
It was all a
performance is
dream.
great.
It was all a dream.
All a dream.
An
It was
alien
all a
mother
strange,
showed up.
darling dream. Yes.
Alien
Alien mothers and split open fingers and worms inside and all that stuff.
But yeah, he has a bad. Hold on a second. Ooh, I fast forwarded there. He has a normal, boring day. Our lead here, and the supervisor, man. Oh God, this actor here, he did a good job.
What a great portrayal of a
Yeah,
mid-level manager somewhere.
Kind of like that. But he sees something in our main character, and he's like, "Hey, these other guys are worthless. They're pieces of shit.
Mhm.
You're the only one that's like, you know, seems normal. So I'm gonna need a manager. We're gonna be opening up some more burger joints. I love the name of the joint, the burger joint. Do you remember the name of the burger joint?
Was it Burgers?
Yes.
Listen,
Burgers,
no false
burgers.
advertising there. Get right to the point, you know.
So walk
That's
in. You got any burgers? Try to fuck with them. We're going there. I want some fried chicken. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to promote him, and then everything. He kind of chippers up a little bit. He's like, "Oh my God, thank you!
Yeah.
Someone's believing in me. I wasn't expecting this today." And then
They do a pretty good job right then too of showing like this guy's just like this downtrodden. He's got no path in life. He's got no thoughts for the future. He's just kind of sitting stagnant in this thing, but he's working harder than everybody, taking it more seriously. So I thought they did some really good, interesting character stuff right up front.
Yeah. And then we're introduced to one of the most douchebaggery of dudes.
Oh my God.
I wanted him to die instantly.
Yeah,
a guy like that wouldn't have lasted long with us.
No, I don't think so. That's the kind. Yeah, that's the kind of guy. And you're just watching him like walk all over this character. And wait, but let me look up his name because I don't want to forget his name. Oh yeah, Randy Bradley is his name, but everyone calls him Bradley because no one realizes that's his last name. So Bradley.
Right.
Yeah, you're just watching this guy walk all over Bradley, who we just saw sort of at a high, and they really just like twist the knife multiple times with this guy, and you're just like, God, I want to punch this dude in the face, but you know Bradley's not going to do it.
Right. And well, shout out to that actor. He did a great job being an asshole.
He really did,
making us want to hate him. And his slut girlfriend, who was just as useless, because you know. All women should wear fishnets and cowboy boots to burger joints.
Of course.
You know?
And it wasn't, he had the mic and he was literally just like, I'll take a side of pussy. Like over and over and over. It's like, God, this is just weird now. Like you're a douchebag and you're an asshole, but this is just weird.
What made it worse though was the douchebaggery meter kept going up worse because he kept winning. He kept belittling and humiliating our lead, but then he wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Even Kyle character was like, even Kyle Gardner's character is like, dude, you already proved your point.
Yeah.
You're still going.
Yeah. And then he turns and goes right back.
Oh, this was great. That was great.
He
tried to fuck with Kyle too. He tried to fuck with Kyle. He's like, you want to do something? Sucker. Yeah. But then what was the most memorable part to me of the film, I'm sure you too, something I was not expecting because I did not watch the trailer. I went in blind
Yeah.
as well, was this scene, bro. This
Yup.
scene was nuts. I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, is
This is
this
the
actually
beginning of the
happening?
movie.
Yeah, is this the beginning of the movie? Is this actually happening right now? This is not in his head. You know how they do that sometimes, right? It's in it's in the character's head. He wants to kill
Sure.
them, but he won't do it.
And then you snap out of it, and here's what's really happening. Yeah.
Right.
Nope,
Dude,
none
this
of that.
was brutal.
Yeah.
Douchebag got it, I think, a couple of times.
Yeah. 2 shotgun blasts right to the chest. And it was
Fishnet,
pretty nasty too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Brutal, bloody. Fishnet stockings got it. Oh my God.
Because she wouldn't stop screaming.
One of Lady Fat's favorite things in life is, and she always says in a joking manner, she was like, if someone's screaming, like just for no reason, or if they're scared but they won't stop screaming, she always goes, "Keep it up, that's helping." She always says that. It's like, keep going, that's helping the situation.
And as you see, it totally helped. Totally helped, and no one did anything rash.
And she lived happily ever after.
And she's totally fine now.
Yeah, but that character got it because he was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Stop screaming. But yeah, this was nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he's just frozen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the last thing he ever expected to happen for his day to start. He's just like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now? This is happening in burgers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die here young in burgers.
After finally achieving my goal of being offered a manager position.
I know, right?
But it's crazy. It was interesting because it was so shocking and sudden, but like that's exactly what you want to happen. You want to shut this guy the fuck up, and like you want him to stop what he's doing and understand that he's not going to win this. You want that to happen, and then it happens in the most brutal way. It's like, oh, maybe not that much. Maybe that's not what I wanted to happen.
Just shoot him in the leg and walk out.
Yeah, there's a moment, when he pulls the shotgun where I was like, oh, he's just going to threaten him. Nope.
Right.
Shoots him right away. And it's shocking. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely insane beginning here. And even the the manager gets it.
Yeah.
Nobody's safe.
No, he comes out too. There's a great thing too where he hears the shots and you realize he's just back there watching porn by himself. Like while the kids are in there like cleaning up and getting ready for the day to start. And he runs out of the back and he kind of begs for a second. He's like, no, don't do it. And then after he takes out the girl, he just turns and just takes out the manager, and good riddance. They're all terrible, so that's fine. But yeah, I thought the Bradley's performance right there was awesome. He's literally just standing there, but there's so much terror in his face, and you can just see how scared he is and how he's just pretty sure he's gonna die. Even in that right there, there's so much behind that, and I thought he did a great job, especially in this beginning.
Yeah. He kind of plays a similar character in Reacher, just a little bit. Guy getting bullied and stuff like that. But yeah, really good performance. And then something more unexpected happens. He's like, "Well, I'm not going to kill you. It doesn't seem like you want to die, or maybe you do, but you intrigue me, sir. You intrigue me, my good man. But so if you want to live, you're going to help me get rid of these bodies."
Yep.
And then after that, you're going to go on a fucking road trip. I'm going to force you to go on a road trip with me because I'm here to help you. Okay. Yeah. I know there's some demons and some shit you need to get off your chest and get rid of. And I'm here to help you. And what is he going to do? I mean, the guy's armed. He's going to go with him.
If he runs, he will just get shot. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that face right there, whatever he tells me to do, I'm probably going to do it.
Exactly.
Purely out of fear, but I will probably do it.
Of course. I mean, if he didn't do nothing,
sweater, really.
Yeah, if he did the sweater.
Yeah.
If he didn't do nothing to the bully, what's he going to do against a guy who's unhinged and got a gun, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And the longer you stay with both of them, the more unhinged you see that this guy has, that this guy himself has a lot of baggage and demons, and he's dealing with some shit too. Oh my God, that scene with his mom Jesus.
That was wild. Yeah.
Jesus,
Where she's just like, yeah. And he just walks into his house, brings this poor kid back to his house. He changes his clothes, puts on that crazy green sweater, and he's like getting a pistol, loading the pistol, and his mom's like, "Did you bring my cigarettes? Did you bring my cigarettes?"
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, God, just uncomfortable. And then when the mom asks Bradley, who's just standing there frozen, not knowing what to do, she says, "Bring me the phone." And he does not realizing it's a thing. And Kyle Gallner's character, what is it, Benson, comes out and sees him handing her the phone, flips out, shoves him against the wall, and he's like, "No, she doesn't use the phone. What do you need the phone for? Who do you need to call?" And it gives such a great insight into who he is and what his life has been like, and what life is like for his poor mom, most likely.
Yeah, for sure.
And she even sees the blood on Bradley's shirt and is like, then he tries to play it off saying that's ketchup. She's like, "It's not ketchup. It doesn't look like ketchup." So she fully knows her son's a psychopath, probably has her held captive in there. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking she was going to call for help if she got that phone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. And he's like, "No, don't do that." And then right after that, "Hey, everything's all right, dude."
Yeah.
I threatened to kill you earlier, but it's all right. Just don't get in my way, and it won't hurt you.
We're going to be friends. I'm going to help you out.
Yeah. Wear this cool, awesome Motorhead shirt.
Yep. I did see the Born to Lose shirt. Yeah. When I was wondering, like, where is this going? What are we going to be doing? Are we just going to go on a Thelma and Louise crime spree right now?
Right.
He brings up his ex-girlfriend, and Bradley does. Bradley's like talking about his ex-girlfriend.
Right.
And talking about how he left it, and doesn't know why it ended.
She ditched him. She
ditched him because her cat died, is what he said.
She didn't tell him. They didn't talk. She just left. I think.
Yeah. So in an effort to, I think, continue his like righteous crusade in defense of his new best friend, they go and confront the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend, to ask her why. And in doing so, these two like blood-stained obvious degenerates have to go into a Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Bear. I was kind of surprised nothing happened to her.
I think it would have. There's a really so they have that moment. He sort of forces them to have that moment, and Benson stands off to the side and just kind of watches, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
But after that, he comes up to her and said, "What are you doing later?" And I was like, "Ooh, yeah, don't tell him what you're doing later. You don't want to.
Right.
You don't want to do what he's doing."
And
but
she kind of lays it out. But she's like, "Well, I left you because it seemed like you were a loser and you didn't have any plans. You didn't know what you want to do with your life and your future." I think that's hilarious coming from somebody who works in a Build-A-Bear.
Yeah.
No shade at people who work at it's like no shade to people who work at Build-A-Bears, but I'm just saying, it's like, maybe don't be so judgmental.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but but it's interesting because he kind of got closure here. Something positive did happen. And he even got he took his Build-A-Bear with him, or his Build-A-Croc we got going on there,
Yeah.
He ended up taking it with him. And throughout the movie, I think his mother was trying to get a hold of him. He had to bullshit, I think.
Yeah.
That he's out and about and doing things and stuff like that. But now we're going to talk about the baggage. There's more baggage. Yeah, talk about him and his teacher.
Yeah, so he drops a couple times that he was held back in second grade, and you think it's just kind of like a funny passing thing. And when you finally realize why he got held back, he tells the story about how he got mad at his teacher, and she was yelling at him, and he felt singled out, so he flung something at her using a slingshot, and it was like way more powerful than he expected, and he hit her right in the eyeball. And her eyeball basically exploded. And
took that eyeball out.
Took that eyeball completely out. And this is alarming and disgusting. And so it really messed him up as this like second grade kid. He's 10 years old, second grade, 8 or 9 years old in second grade. And so
Not just
that's why
because
he
of the
ended up being
deed,
held back.
not just because of the deed, but what happened to the teacher after
Yeah,
that.
it basically ruined the teacher's life after that.
Yeah.
And so he talks about, you know, the guilt and the shame of doing that just stunted him. And I think both of them realize in that moment that that's probably why he is still stunted and unable to move forward. And he's just racked with guilt.
Yeah.
So naturally, Benson, who is his, I don't know, therapist, deciding he's going to help this kid and fix this kid aggressively, says, we're going to the elementary school. She's still working at the elementary school. So we're going to go over there and see her. And yeah, that's what they do. They drive over to the elementary school. They ask for trying to get the same kind of closure they did with the ex-girlfriend, and just, I don't know, apologize, get him to apologize to her, or at least talk about it, and confront his, you know, terrible past, as that log line
because it ruined her career in a way, a little bit.
Ruined her marriage.
Ruined her marriage, everything. She had a kid too. Oh, and what I thought was kind of comical was he finally lets out his burden, you know, what's really been bothering him his whole life. And Kyle's just laughing his ass off at the whole thing. He couldn't stop laughing, man. He's like, really? You know.
Like, her eyeball came out. Hilarious.
But then we get more baggage from him. They finally get the information of where the location of you said Bradley's teacher, right?
Yeah.
But Benson's teacher, you know, Kyle's character Benson, there's kind of hinted of, what do you think, some molestation,
something, some
sexual
kind of
assault,
abuse,
something happened between him and this guy.
Yeah, because they never outright say it, right?
But you gotta assume
he sees the vice principal and he's like, oh, you're so and so.
That's right.
And the vice principal doesn't recognize him, and they just kind of go on their way. And then when they're going out to the parking lot, because the teacher's not there, she's at her home, and the lady gives the address, which is crazy, but they have an address to go to now. Out in the parking lot, they see the vice principal, and Benson just like attacks him and starts pistol whipping him.
He beats the shit out of that guy.
Hell out of him. And and in a moment of amazing practical effects, again, seems to be the theme for today, he beats him so badly his lips are all split open to the point where like you can just see inside his mouth, and I was cringing pretty good in that moment, because it is violent and brutal and like out of nowhere, because you get the idea that something happened and it stirred up this bad memory. But man, yeah, it is brutal.
Oh yeah.
And they don't hold back from showing it too.
No. And of course, you know, Bradley freaks out and he's like, come on back now. Don't freak out on me now. All right. This had to be done. And let's go see a teacher. Yeah. And they go see the teacher, and at first everything's sorry. not at that moment. But at first
again.
I know, right? That'd be hilarious if that happened. Then the movie turns into a dark comedy at that point.
It's Kill Bill 2, yeah.
Right.
The other eye out. Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, at first things kind of go well. You know, it kind of catches up with her, and you know, they kind of go to have a pretty decent back and forth. And then she gets a phone call, and they report what happened to the vice principal. And then she turns over and looks at this motherfucker, and that's not good. He's like, "Oh shit, she knows."
Yep. He's got those bruised knuckles, and she kind of puts two and two together, and yeah.
And then he was gonna shoot her, but Bradley begged him not to, and he's like, all right, plan B, you're coming with us.
Yep.
And so he forces her to go into the car. They end up going to get something to eat. I think at that point Bradley begged to go to the restroom, and then that's when he called the police. But let's talk about a scene. What do you think that scene was all about with him earlier in the movie, when they were at the cafe earlier, and the black waitress, because that comes back in the finale. So what do you think? What was the point? You understood why she was hurt.
Right.
But why do you, in his thinking, why did he do what he did to her?
Yeah, I think that
before he shoots her.
In that first scene, where they're having a nice conversation. He's like, getting her, how long have you been a waitress? And he begins insinuating that she has just wasted her whole life, and like she's just sat stagnant in this place. And like, I got the idea that he was just really projecting that on her, and that's what he was dealing with, and that's what he was going through, just sitting stagnant in his own life and looking down the road like, am I still going to be working in a fast food place forever or whatever? And he starts talking about, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that for so long. But in doing so, he kind of humiliates her to make his point that like, she's wasted her whole life, and she realizes what he's saying, and she doesn't feel that way. So she's rightfully very offended by him and off put. And later when she confronts him, it's really interesting where she's like, no, I haven't wasted my whole life. You can't make me feel like I've wasted my whole life.
Yeah.
And
like, how dare you?
I've
been working hard for 20 years. I provide for my kids.
Yeah. She
like,
talks
how
about
dare
her 3
you
kids.
just assume you know me and my struggle.
Yeah. And I think
he was
doing that,
like,
she
that's
invalidates
what it's
him.
not about. He says something like that. That's not what it's what it was about.
It was interesting. He's like, it's not even about you. Like, I'm not even talking about you, and that's a really interesting place for that character to be. Not
I think
realizing that he's hurt her.
He projected himself.
Yeah. I think that's what he was fearing. I think he earlier with his first like murder spree was just like deciding, fuck it, I'm done now. I'm going on. I'm gonna deal with my shit. And again, projects onto the kid, Bradley, who had what looked to him like fixable problems. He's like, I'm just gonna fix this shit like as aggressively, as violently as I can.
It's like it's like it was easier for him to fix Bradley than himself. I think that's what it was too. Yeah. In his eyes, like, this is more doable. I can't fix myself. I want to fix myself, but I can't. But I kind of see myself in the kid a little bit. And Bradley, let me try to help him. I think that's probably what happened. But it doesn't go well for the nurse. She gets shot. Everybody freaks the fuck out. He kind of takes over the cafe at gunpoint at that point, and he assumes that the teacher called the cops. Right. But then Bradley's like, no, I did, and he gets in the way of the teacher and takes a bullet for her. He gets shot in the arm, and Benson he's really mad that Bradley got in the way, and he's holding him as if they're like long lost brothers. Like, he's holding him, like, he's like, why did you do that, man? Of course,
you ruined
Bradley's
everything.
Just like, I know, poor Bradley's just like, can this day end? Can I just go home?
This is kind of where it lost me a little bit, because I felt like we were doing something. I felt like we were on this journey, on this path, and then as soon as he captured he took the teacher with him, I was a little bit like, well, what do we do? I don't know what we're headed towards anymore.
Right.
And so the end, like the whole kind of third act, felt a little shaky to me, a little
that
thin.
was my issue with the movie.
Because
I really liked the movie, but it felt like it was building somewhere to some finale that you remember, but it just kind of ran out of steam. It just kind of deflated towards the end. I don't know, maybe they ran out of time or money, and they were like, we got to end it here. Just
very possible. I just was confused as to why they would take the teacher. Everything to that point was, I got it. I understood what was happening, and like, I was into it. And then for whatever, I was just kind of lost. And then
I don't think he knew what he was doing. I think he wanted to kill.
Either.
I think he wanted to shoot the teacher, and Bradley was like, no, and he was like, I think out of bootleg instinct, he was just like, all right, just come with us. I don't think he.
It also begged the question a little bit, like, why didn't he call the police earlier? Why wasn't he trying to call the police earlier? Was he along that ride and just decided in this moment that he wasn't anymore? I didn't really. Yeah, I kind of lost that thread a little bit. So like, I really liked it too. And like looking back and talking more about it, I'm like, oh, they did some really cool shit in the movie, and like, there's some really interesting stuff that they brought up. I just wanted a little bit more. I wanted a little bit more, like, to dig a little deeper, to really stick the landing, so to speak, and like make it a solid, like,
because
like solid allegory for something, which it didn't really feel like it was.
No, just the cop showed up, and that was pretty much a wrap. That was
The cop showed up. They shot him. He died.
I love how the cop shot him multiple times. Yeah, and then they're like, "Keep your hands where we can see him." He shot him like 5 times already.
Don't move. Stop moving.
He turns to the partner. Make sure he's handcuffed.
Tase him. Somebody tase him.
But it's crazy because out of all the insane things that happened in this movie, he got closure twice. Our main lead protagonist actually got closure. So in a way, and in some horrible, demented, awful, terrible way, he kind of helped Bradley, I think.
Yeah.
He
definitely did. He definitely did. And like you can see it's a little bit like too sweet, I think, but him like babysitting his teacher's kid at the end. You know, I get why it is that, and it is very sweet and it's a nice ending. But
you know, he saved her life. And realistic, that should not probably happen. You know, having closure with her, fine, but you know.
Yeah, but
I don't know, man. Maybe the teacher should be fucking angry with him still. She's like, you ruined my life as a child, and now you almost had me kidnapped and killed at the end.
Yeah,
I'm not going to have you come in and babysit my kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You're clearly not safe. You're clearly not safe with rubber bands and stuff. But like, I was surprised the teacher didn't lay into him at all, or like, admit, or even admit like, yeah, you fucked up my life.
Yeah,
you know,
he tries to
very
touch
much
her like,
oh hey, you know,
he tries to touch her like, are you okay? And she's like, don't touch me. Like we needed that.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be some kind of negative interaction, and then at that point, if they take her and try to sort of like, you know, beat her into submission, like beat her into forgiving him or something, I would have been on board with that. That would have made sense to me. But yeah, it was a little bit too like, it's sort of a classic script problem where there's just not conflict. You know, there's not enough conflict in those scenes to like keep things propelled forward, to keep things moving forward. So like, I don't know. That's kind of a nitpick because
actually there's a third. There's a third closure, I think, and that's with him and his mother.
Oh yeah. At the end, he's talking to his mom on the phone.
Yeah. And she's like, "When are you coming home to have dinner? I got a bit," you know. And he's just like, "I'm come home whenever I want, bitch."
Yeah,
he didn't say that.
That's what he meant, though.
Pretty much, like I'm out chilling. All right, you know. But, so I have 3 closures, but yeah, you know, maybe he should have died from his wound, and in his head he thought it closed with a sweet ending.
Maybe that's what it was.
Oh my God.
Probably not, because they were patching up his shoulder wound. But maybe it was.
Hey, we're celebrating our 10th episode. This episode turned spicy, didn't it?
It kind of did.
But yeah, still really enjoyed the movie. Definitely
same,
some crazy shit in it. We still recommend you guys watch it.
It's definitely like
just for the acting alone,
my kind of movie. Yeah, acting alone, and like,
see, I knew it.
Looking back on it is very cool. You were correct. Yeah, you were correct about that.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the Spanish Passenger.
It was more fun. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. I was like laughing through the whole thing. And then the Passenger, I sat and I watched it and I focused on it, and it was very different movie going experiences. But if I did have to pick one, it's the Passenger.
If we did it, which one? Which one is that? Which one?
That one. Yeah.
I can
Kyle Gallner. Yeah.
Could you imagine if we did a versus? That would have been so confusing for everyone.
Yeah.
I picked the Passenger. Well, this was a blast, brother. It was great to have you back on the show. We got to do more of these, of course, and invite more filmmakers to hang out with us on the next one.
Yeah.
And we love talking movies. This was Schlebede Ega. That's what it's all about, baby. This is kicking in. Me and Billy are lightweights, apparently.
Yep. I haven't even gotten through my only glass here.
Cheers again. Let's do it one more time.
Cheers.
So, boom. Oh, shit. That's right, baby. All right. This was fun, man. Hey, all you film lovers out there, thanks again for hanging out with us and hearing us slur our words and watching and having fun. We appreciate it. Click on the links below. You can follow Billy on his continuing filmmaking journey. That's right. And hey, if you enjoyed yourself here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. That's right. Sometimes I like to talk about movies a little bit outside of the realm of action and martial arts and horror, you know, even though Passenger was kind of semi-horror. But yeah, it's fun to talk about different movies and different genres once in a while. You know, that's what this show is for.
We did
So,
French
yeah.
New Wave movies at one point.
That's right.
More
French
than
New
once.
Wave. Yes, that's right. It's fun. Plus, it wets the palate. You know, when
True.
you just eating
And-
cheeseburger, when you keep having burgers all day. Once
Yeah,
in a while,
that's
it's
true.
like, hey, you gonna have a steak? Maybe
Sometimes you're
some
in
lobster.
the mood for love. Yeah, you got to watch this one. If you enjoyed this, you got to watch the Into the Mood for Love one. We had a good time with that one. You'll see why.
Damn you, Billy! Damn you! Billy
so
forced
good.
me to get emotional on camera. It was really embarrassing. Thank you
Oh,
for
so
that.
good, though.
But yeah, if you want to see Samurai Guy almost go to tears, oh my God,
Very close.
I'm losing cred.
We'll get you there next time.
All right, guys, definitely check out that episode for sure. And we'll see you guys on the next one. That's right. Don't forget to follow the Movie Dojo podcast right here on YouTube and on Spotify. And until next time, guys, take care.
See ya.
Alien Mothers.